Hey, good people. Welcome to Miss LeAnnyaa's Third Eye 13. Miss LeAnn's my also known as SAG after-name. Ya is my Thursday-born Akan day name. So LeAnnyaa's is my adopted name, living in Ghana, West Africa. And this is where you'll get my third eye view and sometimes eternal educator perspective on any number of things in or about or a multiple of 13 minutes. 13 being my favorite number. So again, welcome in. Okay, so welcome in again to this unique hybrid segment. And it is because when I sat for the conversation with my quote unquote fraternity brother, Dr. Bryan Cox, owner of the Spinal Clinic in Accra, Ghana, it was earlier this month, but too close to turn it around by the 13th. And as always, my resolve is to post on the 13th of each month and the 30th or 31st. So, because I couldn't get it out then, it's now. And the reason that I'm voice only, going back to my original format, is because of the record pollen count. So I said in the conversation with Bryan that one of the things that I most miss about being in Ghana is the equator sun. But yeah, I don't miss, I could be without pollen forever, here, there, anywhere, like Sam I am. No, thank you to pollen, no. So anyway, I am really happy because it's very informative. And so I invite you in for the conversation with Dr. Bryan Cox. And I'll be back in a moment. Enjoy it. Dr. Bryan Cox, DC, Doctor of Chiropractic. Thank you so much, my bruh. Thank you so much for joining me. And okay, that part. So I just wanted to host you so that we could talk a little bit about work that you do and the message that I'm trying to spread to enlighten everybody to the divine within, and then that we're all called for a divine purpose. So I'll just say that with the health presentation that you had last week, which prompted me to ask you to come on, you were talking about specifically talking about how dis-ease becomes disease. And my spiritual auntie is always saying that, according even to the CDC, that most of the illness and disease that we carry in our physical bodies has to do with our emotional wellness. And so I think that was how I connected the two. But if you would share how disease connects to the spine, and then therefore how it manifests in our wellness or our illness, as the case may be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I you may have seen me look in the air because I'm trying to think of what I talked about last week.
Okay.
But what I was mentioning dealt with how dis-ease can manifest in your body through the spine. And see the nervous system, in fact, that I don't have the other spine, but I have this spine here.
Okay.
But the nervous system controls and coordinates every working organ of the body. If that nervous system doesn't work properly, the rest of your body doesn't work properly. And healing comes from above down, inside out. And some people feel that it comes from below up. But with chiropractic, people believe that healing comes from above down, inside out, from the brain through the medulla oblongata or brainstem, through the spinal cord, through the spinal nerves to the rest of your body. And when a person gets dis-ease, lack of harmony, so dis means lack of, ease means harmony. So when a person gets dis-ease, they get lack of harmony within their body. And when they get lack of harmony in their body, then diseases start to manifest in their body. And a lot of times when people get dis-ease, where as far as the philosophy of chiropractic, they may have a vertebrae out of alignment, which could cause what we call a subluxation. In fact, say subluxation.
Subluxation,
No.
subluxation,
Uh-huh.
subluxation. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, a subluxation is a misalignment in the spine, a bone out of place. In fact, if you break that word down, sub means less than or below.
Mm-hmm.
Lux means light or life, and
Okay.
ation denotes a result. So when you have a subluxation, you have less light, less life, less energy going to certain areas of the body, and it can cause pain, but also it can cause you not to function properly. It
Mm-hmm.
causes you not to function properly. And that's what we try to do at the Spinal Clinic is we try to get people to function better. Yes, we want to get people out of pain, but we also we predominantly want them to get be able to function properly. And some people wonder, how, what do you mean? How, that's what chiropractic does. They just get people out of pain. They crack backs and get people out of pain. But it's a lot deeper than just
Deeper than that.
cracking a back and getting the person out of pain, because those nerves sends information to multiple areas of the body. The nervous system, as I said before, controls and coordinates every working organ of the body. If that nervous system doesn't work properly, the rest of the body doesn't work properly. And when a vertebrae shifts out of alignment, let's say T2, T2 nerve sends information directly to the heart.
Okay.
Okay. The occiput, I talked about the occiput, I talked about the cervical plexus, I talked about all those different things. But when I talk about dis-ease, it's talking about lack of harmony in the body, which eventually will cause disease in the person's body, along with not making the right lifestyle choices like eating healthy or exercising, nutrition, positive mental attitude, and proper amounts of rest.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk you to death.
No. I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it. And it's so echoing my first guest, who's a holistic dentist. And I'm actually listening to you and making the connections that she did with our teeth, our dental meridians, and the energy that flows from our teeth. And you're saying essentially the same is of the spine in terms of the nervous system flowing from each of the vertebrae. And the nervous system, as we can consider, is the energy flow within our bodies. So that sort of leads to my foundational question, which is I'll say this: either we are human beings having spiritual experiences or spiritual beings having a human experience. And what I want to know is, what do you think about that? Or do you have another way of describing or defining your philosophy of life?
I believe that we are, um, we're spirit, we're body, and we're soul. We're not just one. We're a bunch of all of them. In fact, this is a spiritual world. We're spiritual beings, and you either have negative spirits or positive spirits that's manifesting in our body. But we live in a human, flesh body, but we're spirit beings. So I believe I'm getting what you're saying, but that's how I feel. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I know.
Okay, I hear that.
We're all three. Yeah. We're all three.
Okay.
Unfortunately, many of us don't realize that this is a spiritual world. We got spirits all around us. You don't see them. You don't see them, but they're all over our bodies. They're talking amongst each other. They're saying to each other, or saying to you, you do this. They're like fighting wars to get us, to get on their side, either a good spirit or a bad spirit. But unfortunately, a lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of us fall into we may fall into our bad spirits and do the wrong type of things. But our best things is to try to tap into the good sources, because I believe we all have positive attributes to ourselves.
Yes.
Unfortunately, sometimes we may backslide and we may do things that may not necessarily be the best.
I personally believe very similar. And because we're having human experience, we have the human condition, the balance of the light and the dark.
It can be generational too.
I
It can
think
be
so.
generational as well.
I agree.
Because
I think
sometimes
so.
people, even with our health, it's
Yeah.
a lot of times generational. You notice that let's say your great grandmother had diabetes,
Mhm.
then your grandmother has diabetes, then you are more likely to have diabetes. So
Right.
sometimes those habits, they can be they're somehow generational curses, but
Yes.
those curses can be broken
Yes.
by making those changes. And
Yes.
that's another reason why I'm also educating people on making lifestyle changes to break that curse, because a lot of times we are putting curses amongst ourselves by doing certain negative things that we don't necessarily think about. It's a
Okay.
cultural thing where we eat eat certain types of foods with certain types of oils and
Mhm.
so forth, so
Mhm.
on, and it's
Mhm.
affecting our bodies, or
Mhm.
eating sweets and other
Yeah.
things. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I love these things.
Yes.
I like to eat certain things as well, but it has to be within moderation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we have to retrain our thought patterns. We have to retrain our mindsets. A lot of times too, a lot of people don't realize it, but this COVID thing, it has destroyed a lot of homes because of people being inside,
Mm.
being away from other people, and it affected us in so many different ways. And looking at social media and all these other things, it has changed our mindsets.
I agree. I agree. And
Yes.
we're both team hell no jab. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
I definitely I hear you on that. And
Hmm.
I think the pandemic, as I call it,
It's a pandemic. Yeah, I believe
yeah,
it's.
I believe that it was meant to be a great awakening, but
Hmm.
and it picked up some people. It picked up some
Hmm.
people, but a lot of people are still in the dark. But I mean, what can you do? It is what it is. People can only see what they can see, and that's
Hmm.
all, and that's it. You know.
Exactly.
So
I have a lot of enemies from that.
yes, yes,
They're floating
yeah,
back,
I
but
mean,
they're
yeah,
floating
yeah.
back because they starting to realize that I
Right,
was telling the
exactly,
truth.
exactly,
But
definitely. Yeah, I've talked about that before. People who thought that I was defying the interest of public health because
Mhm.
I chose not to take an injection. It's like, come on, give me a break. But I actually, so like where you were heading was with regards to the generational habits and things like
Mhm.
that. So but initially my thought was just thinking about like as the human experience moves along, people I believe are becoming more aware and more evolved and more understanding of our spirit nature. But going back to what you were saying before about how you try to encourage people to make better lifestyle choices is a lead into your life's
Mm.
work. It's obviously something that you do well, your practice, you have grown in it, and the impact that you have. But I want to know whether it's professionally as a chiropractic or the other things that you do,
Mm.
how do you see that as being your life call, your life purpose? Do you?
Um, I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
I believe that it is a life calling because um, I, I personally believe my hands are anointed. You know,
Okay.
I believe that, and I believe that it was even more so a few years ago.
Okay.
But then because they have backslid and did certain things that within the last 7 years or 5, 7 years that may have not been the best. Um, eh,
Mm.
it's just it wasn't as good. But now I am getting back to what I feel I was called to do.
Okay.
Let's say here in Ghana. When
Okay.
I first came here, I mean, it was when I say anointing, I'll put my hand on somebody and the person would just be getting better. People walking and things,
Okay.
and things like that. But
Hmm.
um, but now sometimes it may take a bit longer for people to get healed. As you mentioned before, there's a physical realm and there's a spiritual realm as well. And I am working on getting my spiritual realm better right now. In fact, I'm not a Muslim or anything like that, but I'm going through Ramadan at this particular time. And they do it at certain parts of the year.
Yeah.
And every year is different, but it started on the 28th in the nighttime. So they actually started their fasting on the 1st. I started my fast on the 28th. So I've done a day longer than they have done. But during that particular time, from basically sun up to sundown, so let's say 6 o'clock to 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You don't eat anything and you don't take any water. So those are the things that I'm doing at this particular time. And the water part is a little bit difficult. But I mainly am doing it. I'm not necessarily doing it for health reasons. I'm doing it because because I know that I like to eat, and I love water. I've gotten used to saying water.
Water. Yes.
Water. Okay. Pronouncing my T's.
Yes.
Water. But I know that only God will be able to get me through because it's a mind thing. It mentally plays on you, especially if you're not drinking water. So I
and I think also it does help being there in Ghana. That's one of the things, other than the family that I formed while I was there, but I most miss that equator sun. It's just like beautiful. I mean, so for me, I think that it would have to be easier to have that fasting period that so aligns with the sun. I mean, because 365, 366 leap years, that sun rises at 6:30 and sets at 6:30, and that 12-hour window, I think, I would think makes it a little bit more regulated.
But I also prepared myself a bit too, because for the last 2 or 3 months, I've been eating healthier. I've lost about 15 kilos just by making lifestyle changes. And then with this Ramadan, I'll probably lose more. I wanted to get to a certain weight. Because I believe that's helping me spiritually as well. I used to drink, alcohol a lot, so I've reduced that drastically. In fact, right now I'm not taking any alcohol.
Any of that.
I what was it? December 7th, I haven't had a drink. I may have had a sip or something, but I haven't really been drinking anything.
Isn't that your birthday?
My birthday. So my 58th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, my 58th birthday.
So you're saying you didn't drink on your birthday, or you stopped after your birthday? You celebrated on your birthday.
No, the day before.
Oh, wow.
My birthday. So after my birthday, from now, I haven't drank. I think I had like 3 totes in that whole time.
I'm surprised that it wasn't for your birthday. It seems like that would have been a time that you would have taken.
No, I told myself before my birthday that for my birthday, I'm going to stop for some time. I'm not going to quit. I didn't say I quit, but so that, if I make a promise that I'm gonna quit and then I break that promise, then I'll feel like I've done something. But I said that I'm going to stop, and then I'm not quitting, but I've cut it out to a bare minimum.
Yeah, I got it. Yes. Okay, well, very good.
Because when I hit 60, I want to have a 6-pack.
I hear that. That's aspirational. That's aspirational.
So I have to get myself back into shape, and as I'm doing these things, as I'm making lifestyle changes, I'm now starting to communicate those lifestyle changes to other people. So that's one of the reasons why I've gotten involved in my, the weekly health calls.
Yes.
Every week I do the health talks and things like that. If you want to join in, you can
hop on
and tell all your people as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I trust that you have enjoyed the first part of our conversation, because with a technical problem, I got a chance to ask a question that I haven't been able to until now. And so I'm excited for you to see how that unfolded. But I wanted to take a break and share that when he referred to his weekly health calls, I will be sure to include in the description his meeting ID and the password so that you can log on for any upcoming weekly health meetings. Okay, so check this out, and I'll be back again. I want to know also basically something that you know that people may take issue with you, but you're okay with that. And like I'm thinking of these mattress firm commercials. People would say, how can you sleep at night for what you did just now? And you're like, just fine. I'll sleep just fine. What is it that you are okay with people giving you the side eye for? Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, this is the first thing that went through my head.
Okay.
And I guess nowadays it's controversial, but there's a big thing about, biological men and biological women.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem sleeping at night knowing that I know what a man is and I know what a female is.
Mhm.
Okay. So if a man say that he's a female and I decide I want to debate that situation, I don't have a problem sleeping at night because I know that biologically you are a man, or if you're a man, and I know that you're a female if you're a female. So I don't have a problem sleeping at night when they give me the side eye, and I'm pretty sure there's some people on your podcast is probably giving me the side eye now, but I don't care.
That's what I want to know. What is it? Because see, I did a segment on pronouns because that's my thing. My thing is I will not call one person they. I will not do it. It's just counter to everything that I learned, everything that I taught. At first, I saw them on 1 hour episodic, but then when I heard it on a commercial, I was like, there's one person there and you're saying they. And I'm like, what happens to a child when they see this commercial and they're saying they and there's one person there? And then when I looked at the person, they were androgynous, and
don't know what the heck they were.
Yeah, you don't know what they are. But so then that's when it could click to me that they were using the woke terminology they. And I'm like, I won't do it. Period, point blank. Right. That's all and that's it. And I'm okay with that. So anyway, so I appreciate it. So that's why I say I knew that this is a question that you'll be able to answer with, no problem, no hesitation, even if it is offensive or even if it is provocative, because that's what I think. That's what I think when I think of you. It's like you're always going to say something that provokes some response. So
somebody definitely will have a response.
Yeah.
When I'm doing when I'm discussing something.
Yeah. You are one who stands in your positions firmly, whatever they are, whether they're good,
right or wrong,
bad, or indifferent. It's like that's you.
But most of the time is right.
Well, anyway, okay, yeah, right is right, and wrong is wrong in terms of doing, but perspective, it's relative.
Yeah.
But I understand, and I love you for it, and I appreciate you so much,
Love
Dr. Bryan Cox, for taking the time. And I'll say namaste, which means the light within me honors the light within me.
Okay. Nice being on your show as well. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So again, our conversation was in early March, so weeks before the statement that was released from the White House this past week with regards to our transgender community. And so Bryan is going to say what he feels regardless. So I'm just saying that there's no copycatting there because it was weeks before. But just as I would say to Trump, I'll say to Bryan in my eternal educator voice, the issue for me is not the message, not how you feel about it, but the language. And that is male and female are adjectives describing words, and man and woman are nouns naming a person, a place, or a thing. And so that would be my only response to that. And even though my adopted sign is Tormini because I'm on the cusp, because I'm a bull, that is the example that I often use in terms of there's no such thing as a female bull because a bull is a male bovine. Yeah, so that's it. And that's going to do it. So with that, I'll remind you that my biggest Third Eye 13 aspiration is to eventually host all of my beloved thriving 13th babies. The eighth wonder of the world, Mr. Stevie Wonder, born May 13th. Auntie Whoopi Goldberg, born November 13th. And the 13th of September, trifecta, Miss Iyanla Van Zant, Mr. Tavis Smiley, and Mr. Tyler Perry. And my biggest professional aspiration is to join my beloved, renegade, phenomenal 15th baby, Mr. O'Shea Jackson Sr., Ice Cube, yay, yay, and support him in reviving and implementing his brilliant contract with Black America for the descendants of the American slavery system. And I thank you now for touching and agreeing with me on all of this, please, as well as liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And I appreciate that you took the time to hear me out. And I affirm that be it by divine appointment, you will the next time as well. And I release that to the source to be done. And so it is. Amen and Ashe. And I'll close with Namaste, meaning the light within me honors the light within you. So until next time, be good, take good care, and namaste, good people.